Welcome back to my channel. Today we are at Walmart. I am going to look for some things I can resell for a profit on Amazon or Walmart. And I am going to be your spirit guide to retail arbitrage, break it down, pros, cons, guide you, and hopefully steer you away from some of the mistakes I've made in the past. And I see a lot of people talking about creating a side hustle. Is this right for them? So I want to talk a little bit about that, and you know, who it's really good for and who should probably not be jumping in right now. You are going to walk away from this video informed and know if this is the right time to really start something like this. Let's go. Okay, I didn't really get that much. It's really not the end of the world because I already have so much at the house. I'm gonna take you back home to prep that stuff. I got a couple really good things and also stuff I'm watching for them to mark down again. I usually have like an idea of how much I'm willing to invest. So when I look at the price, I know, okay, it needs to come down a couple more dollars to make it super profitable for me. But come along, we're gonna go home, talk about it, and prep these products. Okay, we're back home. And I am gonna prep some product to send out. Tomorrow I leave for a trip. I'm speaking in Miami about Walmart and I'm really excited. I've never been to Miami, but let's get to it. Retail arbitrage is allowed on Amazon and Walmart, but your source matters. Your source always matters. Where you're buying your product and being able to prove authenticity, should you need to, is really important. So receipts, invoices, documentation of any kind, really important for both platforms so you can prove that your product is authentic. Should a customer open a complaint and say it's damaged, it's inauthentic, it's expired, Amazon specifically will say, let's see your source, where did you get it? So in 2025, are we buying products from TJ Maxx to resell on Amazon, Ross, Home Goods, like that whole chain of stores? No, because those are liquidation stores. And when you submit your receipt, the UPC on the receipt does not match the UPC of the product. And then also, Amazon is not dumb. Like, they know what TJ Maxx is. They're getting liquidation. If you find their makeup, sometimes their makeup is expired, it's been open. So that store does not have a great reputation of selling just brand new products. So that's why we steer clear of those ones. I love sourcing from Walmart. Our main thing right now is Walmart to Walmart clearance, things like this. This is allowed on the Walmart platform. I like it because Amazon and obviously Walmart know Walmart only sells new products. They can verify that. So the receipts will offer me more protection. Is a receipt always going to protect you in every situation? No, it's not. And we're seeing that more and more on Amazon, where receipts don't always protect you, but honestly, invoices don't always protect you either. So Amazon is just, I don't know, crazy girl era. And for me right now on Amazon, I am taking a couple steps back and just letting her flame out, and then I'll be back to it soon. But Walmart to Walmart, absolutely, retail arbitrage is the way to go. Don't do drop shipping. We don't do that here. We are finding products, prepping them. So something like this, I am going to take off the clearance sticker. I am going to bag it with poly bags. The UPC is on, obviously, the product, and so I don't have to put another sticker on this. This will work just fine because it's scannable, and that's the prep needed for something like this. If it's boxed, you don't have to prep it. But Walmart is, and I ungate with Walmart receipts, so this is a very acceptable way to sell on the platform. I think it's important to talk about the risk with these accounts because we are not immune, you know, and this is a fantastic hustle, but I want to just bring up some of the risk included in this sort of lifestyle because this is my full-time job. I'm fully aware of what I'm getting into, what I signed up for, and the potential issues that could happen. Obviously, as you get an inauthentic claim on Amazon, they shut your account down and they don't accept your receipts. That's worst case scenario. You lose your account forever. But what are the more likely things to happen? Well, when you get restricted on either platform, they do hold your funds. Sometimes they can hold it indefinitely, and then sometimes, like on Walmart, I think you get your funds after a certain window. So that would be the first issue, especially if you're over leveraging, you're taking loans, you know, anything, you're on credit cards. And to be honest, most of us are using credit cards to buy product, and then we pay them off when our product sells and whatever, we move on with our life. But if you are suspended, and I talk a lot about this in the CrazyFlippinMom community because I want to make sure that this hustle is working for you and you're not over leveraging yourself in the business, because we're not building a brand that we can sell at some point. We're not building a store with the potential of selling it and making a big payday. We are paying ourselves as we go. So it doesn't always make sense to get a huge loan that then we have to keep selling all year round because they need that money. Some of these loans you have to pay back every week. Some of them are monthly. So there's really no breaks included. And honestly, depending on why you're coming to the table, sometimes you want to take a break. In the summer with your kids, you want to stop selling. If you take an Amazon loan, you can't stop selling. Otherwise, they're going to take the money out of your credit card. So it doesn't always make sense to over leverage yourself. These accounts can be shut down at any point. And knock on wood, I've been around for a long time and I've never had that extreme of an issue, but it's just something worth saying that there are no guarantees here. The third thing I want to talk about is this is not a fast money game. This is slow money. Amazon is super slow money. There are expenses on fees and referral fees and all of it, you know, and Walmart, I feel Walmart is a great opportunity because it's going to be faster money in the game of life here and less fees. They're not charging you the monthly fee, okay? But still, if you are in a situation where you need money to buy groceries this weekend, this is not the time to sign up for these platforms. Go to eBay, that's faster money. Facebook Marketplace, fast money, baby. You're getting that cash today. That's where you should be going. I love Facebook Marketplace. I try to sell there all summer, like all of my liquidation finds or all of my yard sale finds. I love flipping it for fast money on Marketplace. I just want to be very clear. Like if you're going through a huge personal issue, anything, these platforms aren't going anywhere. So don't get FOMO. Like if I don't get in now, it's going to be done. They're not going anywhere. Deal with your life and then come back to it when you feel emotionally, spiritually, physically ready to tackle a new challenge. Lastly, you have to know how you're going to fund this business. That is the big question mark of my life. How am I funding continuously buying product? And I would love to say that, oh, just a credit card. Freaking Amex, not that long ago, they like cut my limit way down out of nowhere. I've had this Amex card for 5 years. Always have paid it on time. And then they're like, you're done. And I've heard this happen. I still have it, but I've heard this happening more and more. Are you taking a loan? Like, what's the best situation? Are you bad at paying credit cards off? I know I talk to a lot of people who say like, I want to get out of a day job and do this full time. And I want that for people who want that too. But I'm always saying, how are you going to fund this? You know, because you make, you know, $10,000 in sales 1 month. That's great. How do you do that consistently? That's the bigger question. So I want to leave you with that is, if you want this to be a long-term goal and plan in your life, understand the risk. You need to understand how much time and effort it is going to take until you start seeing a profit. And third, how are you going to fund this dream? And really any dream, any hustle you create for yourself, that's always a big question. Like, where am I going to get the money to start this business, to create this dream? And like everything else in life, how many small businesses, new startups fail after the first couple of years, after the first 6 months? It happens all the time. So being realistic when you come here, and this is not, I know social media gives you this like 10-second amazing reality, but you don't see 7 years of me sitting at a desk crying and working and hustling and fails, and mice got into my office and ate candy, and somebody broke into my office once and destroyed all of my products. I had a bunch of products 2 weekends ago that got damaged with water. The constant hours sourcing, all of it, you know, all that goes into this. You don't always see that, and it does look very like, oh, she started yesterday and she's successful. Honestly, depending on if you're jumping in Q4, I shouldn't say this, but Q4 is very unicorn era because you can be really successful because everybody's shopping. But I want to say this, it's a lot of hard work. There could be easier ways to make money out there. This is the crazy that fits me. And I hope this gave you a realistic look at what retail arbitrage could look like for you. This has worked out super well for me. Like I said, I do this full time. Some months are better than others. You know, I had COVID in February, so I had to take 2 weeks off. Nobody else is working on my business. That's the hard part. The part you don't see is like, okay, when I'm stuck in bed, nobody's doing this work for me. It can be lonely. I'm here. You see my space here. It's me. I'm so thankful for my community because I've connected with strong sellers, men and women who are committed to this life, to selling, and we're like committed to sharing the highs and lows and being vulnerable with each other. And I think that's really has been so challenging in my personal selling history, like in a good way, challenging me to be more, to share more, and be realistic about the journey. So I hope this gave you more insight into my life. If you're interested, I do have a community where I show you how to start and scale, what's needed. I have tons of content here to help guide you along the way. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye. One more thing before you leave. I am hosting a Walmart seller retreat in Omaha, Nebraska on July 18th and 19th, and you are invited. If you are interested in connecting with other Walmart sellers who know what they're doing and want to talk Walmart, want to talk selling, scaling, and like all the extra things included, who get it, come and hang out with us. It's going to be an amazing networking event that has a ton of resources and content to help you scale your business. Make sure you put it on your calendar and join the wait list. We expect to sell out, and the wait list will have priority to tickets. So put your name on the list and we will notify you soon when tickets go live. See you there.